Hello students, warm welcome to all of you in my channel. If you find this video helpful or it helps you to understand any of the concept, then please do subscribe my channel and press the bell icon. Today I am going to explain you the first chapter of 11th standard Maharashtra Board economics subject, that is basic concepts in economics. In this particular chapter there are terms defined or used and explained which are very helpful if you are student of economics, not only in 11th standard but also the other courses if you will opt for in the respective field. So let's start with the chapter. Please do subscribe my channel if you find this useful. First of all, what is economics? See, the economics word, it originated from the Greek word oikonomia, also which means family management. So we can say that the base of this subject is home management or family management. Okay, it is a social science. Why social science? Because it is related with the human behavior. The results are not definite, it depends upon the behavior of human beings. Every time the result will differ in different condition, and it is on person, it depends upon person to person. There are two types of sciences, exact science and social science, which is also known as behavioral science. Exact science is such which you can prove in the laboratory. The results, every time you will test them, the results will be the same. But social science is such branch of science which completely related to the behavior of the human beings. So economics is a social science because it is related with the behavior of the person. Now, broadly speaking, what is economics? It is concerned with the production, distribution, consumption of goods and services. It studies how individuals, business, governments and nations, they make their choices how to allocate resources. If I convert this particular line into simple words to explain you, the simple meaning of this line will be, what is economics? Economics is a selection of choices. We are human beings, our wants are unlimited. As soon as one want is satisfied, the other one emerges. Similar, because this is the condition, the resources to fulfill them, they are not same. They are very much limited. We don't have unlimited resources to fulfill our unlimited wants. Therefore, we have to sometimes make choices in our life that what things are more important for us, what are our priorities, and then we have to allocate those limited resources for the fulfillment of our most important wants, which is priorities. So the principle of the economic subject is that our wants are unlimited, but we have to satisfy those wants with the aim of getting maximum satisfaction, but with the help of limited resources. So the management of this limited resources is basically economics. In the year 1933, Sir Ragnar Fritz, who was a famous economist, he drafted the words microeconomics and macroeconomics. Previously, the word economics, it was considered as a part of political science only, but later on, with the development of economies in the world, it was observed that economics itself is a separate branch of knowledge, and therefore we came up with the conclusion. Sir Ragnar Fritz, he divided the word economics into two broader two broader categories, microeconomics and macroeconomics. Now these are again derived from the Greek words micros and macros. Micro means smaller picture, means you can study the economy in small parts. You can pick up one part of the economy and you can study it in detail. Whereas macroeconomics means studying the whole economy as one particular single unit. For example, if I say budget of my family, it will be a part of microeconomics. But if I say what is the national income of the country, it will fall under the category of macroeconomics. So microeconomics is the study of individual, study of small units, but macroeconomics is study of the whole economy. Definition of microeconomics according to Kenneth Boulding. Microeconomics is the study of particular firms, particular households, individual prices, wages, incomes, individual industries, particular commodities. Whole of the definition, it makes very clear that microeconomics is completely related with the individual units, not the whole unit or the whole economy. So now we are coming to the main part, that is, here I have listed some words which you will very frequently hear if you are a student of economics. First one is wants, goods and services, utility, value, wealth, personal income, personal disposable income, economic activity. So it is not possible for me to cover all the concepts in one video, so I am trying to cover it one by one. So in this particular video we are only going to discuss about wants. In the upcoming videos I will explain you about the other terms. In normal word, what is a want? What want is something which we want to have or we lack its ownership. For example, if I am craving for ice cream, I'll say I want ice cream. Okay, so that particular word denotes the lack of ownership. Like you want that, you need that product in your possession, but you are not able to have it. So that is want. But in economics, want denotes a feeling of lack of satisfaction. If you are not satisfied with a product, if you are in need of the product and you are not able to acquire it, it gives rises to want. What are the characteristics of want? First one is wants are unlimited, which I have already explained you that wants are never ending, they are unlimited. Once one want is fulfilled, you will want something another. So the next want will emerge automatically. It is human tendency. Second is wants are recurring in nature. Exactly. We eat food daily. We want products which are very, you can say, recurring in nature. We want products again and again. Our wants are recurring. In every rainy season you will need, if your umbrella is not good or your umbrella is broken, you will purchase another umbrella after 2-3 years, correct? So wants are recurring in nature. Once a want is fulfilled, you cannot say that the want will not emerge again in your life. Next is want differs with age. Exactly. When we are small, when we are kids, our wants are different. When we are adults, when we are young, our wants become something else. When we are more into the age, then our wants becomes different. So it differs with age. Next is wants differs with gender. Obviously, the wants of male differs from the wants of female because of change in their living pattern, because of their change in their choices, because of the change in their behavior. Their wants also differ according to the gender. Next is wants differ due to preferences. Obviously, if I like coffee, the demand or the want in my house will be of coffee. If the other person is addicted to tea, the want at that particular house will be of tea. So it differs from person to person. Next one is wants differ with seasons. In winter season we need woolen cloths, in summer season we need cotton cloths, in rainy season we need raincoats. So obviously wants differ along with seasons as well. Wants differ due to culture. Yes, not only nation wise but region wise also. Many regions, they have different cultures. Like India is an assimilation of cultures, it is said. So every region will have different want as compared to the other region. So it differs with the culture as well. Now, classification of wants. Wants can be classified broadly into 3 categories: economic and non-economic, individual and collective, necessities, comforts and luxuries. Economic wants are those wants which can be satisfied with the help of money. For example, anything which you can purchase with the help of money, that will be included in this category. Clothes, then food grains, anything which can be purchased with the help of money. Non-economic wants which cannot be purchased with the help of money. For example, air, oxygen, sunlight. So they cannot be purchased with the help of money. That is non-economic want. Individual wants, want of one person. For example, I want to travel to Delhi with my car. So that will be an individual want. Collective want, if you are traveling with other passengers in the train and the destination is same. So there will be collective want of all those people. Third is necessities. comforts and luxuries. Necessities are those items which are needed for survival. Without these items, you cannot survive. For example, food, cloth, and shelter. Comforts are those wants which makes your life more convenient. For example, machines, washing machines, then gas. You can survive without these items, but they make your life more convenient, more good. So these are included in the category of comforts. Last category is luxuries. They represents social status. Okay, so though this luxuries, for example, if you are traveling in first class in aeroplane, train, so that will be a luxury. If you are owning a customized car according to your wish, then that will be a luxury. So luxury represents social status of yours in the society. So thank you all of you. If you have found this video good, then please do subscribe. Thanks a lot everyone. And if you have any doubt, you can ask me also anytime. I'll try to clear your doubts as soon as I can. Thank you.